So, welcome, RawTil4 for the Soul to Raw and Cooked Vegan. It's great to have you.
Great to have. If they have, sorry, great to have me. I'm a little nervous.
All right, yeah. It's a pleasure. So, I want you to tell us a little bit about how you were raised, like your family's orientation towards diet. Were your parents and your brothers and sisters, if you have them, were they into diet at all, or was it did they no
No,
no
no.
okay.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Well, from birth to now, I was raised on eating meat and whatever, and my grandmother, um, came from the South. She came from Wasonsboro, North Carolina. She passed away though 15 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and they were known for eating a lot of pork, pig feet, chitlins, soul food.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
where I came from was all about soul food, fried chicken, collard greens with fat back,
Yep.
macaroni and cheese, sweet potato pie with a lot of fat and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I grew up in that tradition.
Yep.
So I never have any vegans in my family. We don't know anything about veganism because most of my family were meat eaters and soul food. I came from the
Okay.
soul food
Well,
family.
that's interesting, and I'm probably going to ask you later in the interview about the emotional connection to foods like that. But how about fitness? Was your family at all into fitness or exercise?
Except my father and his sister, my aunt. It ain't that many people that's into fitness. No.
Okay. Okay. All right. And what was it like? How old were you before you actually started thinking, hey, maybe there's something to this diet stuff? I mean,
How old was I when I started veganism?
yeah.
Well, I was 36 years old last year. The first time I went vegan was in January 2013. I was 36 at the time. And in the beginning, I was 100% raw vegan. And, at the time, it was kind of difficult because being 100% raw and vegan is very expensive. And I didn't have the means for that. And I became raw vegan for 3 months from January 2013 to March 2013. And the reason why I went back to eating meat and dairy is because I couldn't afford to be a raw vegan. And plus, um, it just wasn't for me. And I
Okay.
felt like if I'm not 100% raw vegan, then I'm not going to be healthy. And I thought, because I was doing 80-10-10 last year, and I thought 80-10-10 was a raw vegan diet. And I didn't find out till later that 80-10-10 is not just for only raw vegan, it could be for anything, even for meat eaters.
You know, I,
So
I'm
I
I'm
fell off, sorry, I fell off veganism last year is because I didn't have the money. Because if you're going to be 100% raw, you got to have a lot of money. You got to, because you're eating raw fruits and vegetables, you got to eat a whole lot because they're lower in calorie density, and you got to eat a whole lot more. You can't just eat two fruits for breakfast. You got to eat like five, six, seven, eight, nine fruits, organic fruits, and I don't have the means for that. So I,
You know,
I
I
fell
love
off.
I love you're bringing up so many topics here. Before I let you go, continue with that. Can you say what were the things that made you consider this lifestyle in the first place? Like you said, 2013, you tried the raw vegan thing. What was it that made you start thinking, hey, maybe my traditional diet is not that great? Was it health issues? Was it just reading a book? What happened?
It was curiosity. I was watching Fully Raw Christina's videos, and I was watching Annette Larkin's videos. You
Yeah.
know, you know who Annette Larkin is?
Yes, I do, and she is
Yeah,
awesome.
she's
She's yeah.
African American woman who was, I think she's like 72 now or 73, I don't know, but she was an African American raw vegan, and she looked pretty young for her age. And I was watching Fully Raw Christina, so I was pretty interested in this thing, and that's what it's curiosity at first.
All right. Now it's interesting, like you say that it was expensive for you, the raw food thing, and I totally feel that. I know that there's some folks that like live in Southern California and they can get a case of bananas for $5, but
Mhm.
that is not the case for most of us.
I live
You
in
know,
Philadelphia, PA, so
yeah. So okay, so you did this thing for like 3 months initially, and did you just do it like once you made the decision? Did you go out and buy a bunch of fruit, and what happened?
well, I bought a lot of fruits and vegetables. I was eating fruit for breakfast, a salad for lunch, and another salad for dinner. I don't have a strong sweet tooth, so a lot of people say, 80% of the carbohydrates should come from fruit, but I don't have a sweet tooth, and I love green vegetables. Being African American, that's part of our tradition. Of
Yeah,
green leafy vegetables, and I love greens. Collard greens, kale, mustard, greens, romaine lettuce. I like dark leafy greens. And
that's good. That's great. That's great.
yeah, I like greens more than fruit.
Wow, that's awesome. See, I need to work on that. I need to eat more greens. So that's awesome. That's inspiring.
Mhm.
Now you ate it, but like you'd eat like a lot of fruit in the morning, and then have two big salads. Do you think one of the problems you ran into was that you were not getting enough calories?
Well, well, I was pretty satiated because when people say that you got to eat 2,500 calories or more, I believe that you should eat the calories that fits you based on your activity level. Because I'm very sedentary, so if I eat 2,500 to 3,000 calories, I'm going to gain weight because I'm not doing anything to, I'm not doing any activity.
Right, right,
So
right. Okay.
so I was pretty fine because I'm not an active person like Christina and Freely and Dorian Ryder. They run, they cycle. I don't do that. So if I eat like them, I'm going to gain weight.
All right, all right. That's interesting. Now, um, so for you, the primary reason that the raw food thing didn't work was the cost. Did
It's the
you?
financial. That's it.
All right.
Financial.
Now, even though that was true, did you notice any benefits from eating the diet in terms of health?
Well, I did have a lot more energy. Even when I was 16, I was doing high carb, low fat cooked diet. I have a lot of energy. So being high carb, I have a lot more energy, whether it's raw or cooked.
Oh, now that's interesting. So when you were 16, you for a time you did a high carb, low fat. Was that? But it was not vegetarian. It
It
was
wasn't vegan at the time, and
okay.
that's when I lost weight. I lost a lot of baby fat when I was 16 doing high carb, low fat, but I wasn't a vegan then or
So were you
vegetarian.
just were you just being careful to try and keep fat out of your diet?
Yeah, keep my fat low. I believe
Okay.
that wholeheartedly.
Well, that's a great point, and that's what a lot of paleo people do, and they seem to get some benefits doing that. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. So
Hmm.
okay, so the cost now. Let's talk a little bit about the cost. Do you have any idea how much it was costing you, say, a week to buy just fruit and vegetables? How much were you spending?
Well, I usually buy organic fruits and vegetables, so I wasn't thinking about the problem is I feel like because it's organic, because I shop at Whole Foods, because it's organic, I just throw any old fruit, whatever, and then I found out it's like $80 or $90.
Yeah, yeah,
$90 a week. What? Almost $100 a week. I can't afford that.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's only the cost. It's not because it's not working for me, it's the cost.
Okay. Now, so but the main health thing you noticed was just increased energy.
Hmm.
Did you notice any change in your weight when you went raw
Oh
vegan?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of weight last year. I mean, I gained it back when I went off the vegan wagon, but I lost a lot of weight. Even
Okay.
when I was doing cooked high carb back when I was 16, I lost a lot of weight. So
Okay.
high carb works better for me.
All right. And are there any other health issues that you noticed were affected by these changes in diet? Like, were there any issues you had health wise growing up that were resolved from diet or anything like that?
Oh, no health issues, but I can tell you this, the detox when I was doing raw vegan last year, I was tired a lot. And I
Okay.
did have dry skin. My skin was very dry, which part of the reason why I fell off the vegan wagon. My skin being dry and stuff like that. But I wasn't more educated enough about the raw food thing at the time, where the detoxing is going to take place as far as being tired and having dry skin and all that stuff. But other than that, my health, I lost a lot of weight. I have increased energy.
Now
The
that's
same
interesting
ways. Yeah.
that you say you felt increased energy, but you also felt like you were tired a lot. So can
In
you?
the beginning, I was.
Mhm.
I
Okay, so
was
I see. The initial detox, you were tired, and then after that went
for two
away.
weeks. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Um, Now let me see if I got this straight. So in 2013, you did about 3 months raw vegan. Then you
Yeah.
went back to animal-based diet, not necessarily low fat. There was no control.
No, it was anything goes.
And then you started gaining weight again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then what made you, it sounds like you started reading and you realized you could do 80-10-10 with maybe some cooked carbs. And is that what just made you decide to go back to vegan?
Well, back in February 27th of this year, I still had that 100% raw or nothing mentality.
Yeah.
I still, when I came back, I still had that mentality, either raw or nothing, because
Okay.
I thought vegan is raw, so I went back, and what had me change for being raw till four is when I was watching Freely Adoring Writer, and it said it's okay to introduce cooked carbs,
Yeah.
and that's what I turned into raw till four, because in the beginning, to almost because May 27th would be my third month. So back in February, I was still doing raw and everything. But, I thought like Doug Graham is, if it's cooked, it's not 80-10-10. That's what I thought. But when I was watching Freely Enduring Writers videos, it said that, and other videos besides that, when I was watching Rice and Raw videos, it says you can still lose weight and have energy, including cooked carbs with your raw food diet. That's when I became real happy. Like, yes,
All
because I
right.
miss eating potatoes. I love potatoes. I love spaghetti. I love beans.
You know,
Me
I'm
coming
I'm
from,
I'm glad to hear you say that because I think I respect people that go 100% raw, and if they can do it and they feel good, that's wonderful. But I like that you say you like some of these cooked foods. You know?
yeah, me being of African descent, because I'm going to go off topic. I was looking at this website called Old Way, the African Heritage Diet. And at the bottom is leafy greens, and next to it is like fruits, vegetables, and grains. So every time I eat a lot of greens, I have a lot more energy. And I noticed that from Africa, that's where dates and bananas and mangoes and papayas and all that tropical stuff came from. And every time I eat stuff like them, like peaches, and I don't like watermelon, but like soft fruits like berries and peaches and
Yeah.
bananas, I, I feel much more better eating based on my heritage. So I can apply raw till four and 80-10-10 based on the foods that's of African diaspora.
You know, that's really interesting you say that. And I think really all of us, if we go back, we go back to Africa, you know,
Hmm.
and so I think most of us thrive on those fruits that are so common in Africa, you know,
Hmm.
in that equatorial region where there's tropical fruits growing and stuff. Yeah, I think that's the best thing for all of us. But we moved out into these colder climates, got
Yeah.
this white skin, you know, and so
Yeah.
anyway,
Hmm.
I think that's true. So now, but you still like eating some rice and maybe some pasta, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I hear you because I do too. I still eat cooked foods. And
I
do
can't
you?
do 100% raw, not where I
That,
live at.
yeah. Hey, I hear you. I hear you. I think that's true for a lot of folks. Or
Hmm.
there can be many reasons why they don't want to do 100% raw, and I think it's okay. And I think you can still get tremendous health benefits
And
doing.
I did even when I was younger. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, so tell me a little bit about what you are eating. Do you kind of do like fruit for breakfast, salad for lunch, and then cook food for dinner?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now, I didn't go food shopping yet. So I still sometimes I don't eat cooked foods. I don't eat raw in the afternoon. I definitely eat raw in the morning. I always keep that tradition. I always eat raw in the morning. So I eat like a banana smoothie with some dates and
Yeah,
some strawberries and mangoes, tropical stuff. And if I'm not eating raw, I eat like potatoes or spaghetti, whatever. But most of the time, I eat raw in the morning. If I don't
got.
have fruit, I eat a salad. Or if I don't eat salad, I eat fruit in the afternoon. It
Okay,
depends on. And of course, I eat cooked starches at night.
okay, I got you. You know, I
Hmm.
still eat like I'll eat cereal and stuff for breakfast sometimes. So
Hmm.
I eat fruit, and sometimes I'll have a huge smoothie, but I kind of mix it up. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And what have you? You said earlier that you're sedentary. Is that intentional? Do you like to exercise? Do you hate
Oh,
exercise?
I love to exercise and everything, but where I live at right now, I don't want to go into detail. Where I live at right now, I can't do a lot of exercising, but I'm going to start doing a lot of walking outside because I used to be very active when I was 16. Like if you watch one of my videos, I used to go to Freedom Theater in Philadelphia. We used to do a lot of dances.
All right.
It's acting. Music. It's an African
Cool.
American theater
All right.
that came. Yeah. So I was very
So are
active.
you into drama and that sort of stuff? Are you
I'm into music. I
music?
used to sing in a church choir when I was going to church. I
All
don't do
right.
no, but music is my passion. I
All
love
right.
music.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So would you say that as of today, how long have you been doing uh, cooked vegan, like 80-10-10 cooked vegan?
Right now, at this
Yeah,
moment,
it's about
well,
it's since February.
last month, because of February and March, I was still pretty much eating raw, mostly raw and stuff like that, because I thought if I eat cooked starches, I'm going to get fat, whatever. But I finally realized when I was younger, it never bothered me. You
Yep.
know, it never bothered me. It's the
Yeah,
fat that bothers me.
it's amazing how much the public thinks that these carbs are the fat, and it's not the carbs.
No, even though carbs doesn't make you fat, I do believe calories do count. I know a lot of people within the 80-10-10 community say you need 25,000 or 2,500 or more to
Yeah,
get energy, but I don't agree with that because it depends on your activity level. I think that if you eat 100% raw, yeah, you're gonna have to eat a higher volume of foods. But I strongly believe carbs doesn't make you fat, but I still strongly believe that if you eat more calories than you burn, you will gain weight,
I
in
kind
my
of
opinion.
that's my feeling too. Now I know during Ryder and Freely they got a lot of folks that they kind of say that there's a long-term effect, and I think there's probably some truth to that. But I do think it seems like there's a mathematical certainty that if you
Yeah,
put so many calories in and you don't burn enough, you're going to gain weight. I mean, I don't
it's
know how.
it's mathematics.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, so there's a bunch of stuff I'd like to ask you. I'm gonna throw out a couple of supplements, and I want you to give me your take on them. All right? So, like the conclusions you've reached and what you've decided about them. The first one is B12.
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 Well,
So a lot of vegans think it's important to take a B12 supplement along with their diet because uh, some people claim that there's not a lot of B12 in a raw or even a cooked vegan diet.
when I was watching Happy Healthy Vegan video, and Ryan was saying that he didn't take no B12 supplements, and his blood test was fine.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yep.
it's not an issue to me.
Okay. Okay. Very good. And then how about like vitamin D? What's your take on that?
Well, I strongly believe that you can get the vitamin D from sunshine.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to take. I don't take no medicine. I don't take no pills, no vitamins. I believe eating fresh fruits, vegetables, and grains is what you get your vitamins from, not taking some supplements.
Okay. And do you feel like you get as much sunshine in the winter as you do in the summer, or
Well, I get more sunshine in the summer because where I live at is four seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. So,
so, but like even though you're up in Philly, like it gets cold and you can't go outside as much, but you think even though that's the case, you think you still get enough vitamin D that time of year?
well, yes, you could get vitamin D from sunshine, which I strongly agree, but I don't think that's an issue. I think you could get some vitamin D from vegetables, in my opinion. I think that's the best supplement is what you eat, not what supplements you take.
Okay, okay, all right. And then let's see, what was the other one that? Yeah, okay, all right. And then what was the other thing I want to ask you? How have you found it when you live this way? Um, how has your family been about you living this way, and how about your friends? Like, do people give you hassle? Do they kind of they let you do whatever you want, or what's your experience with that?
Oh boy. a long one. Well, I could tell you this. Last year, help me, Lord. When I became vegan for the first time last year, I did have some flack, especially in the Black community.
Huh.
Especially in my family, they said you need protein, your hair will fall out, and it's mainly Black people telling me this. You how you gonna get protein? Your hair's gonna fall out. Your nails gonna fall out. I don't like long nails, but your hair's gonna fall out. And I said, wait a minute. When I became vegan, my hair grew longer than it have ever been when I was eating meat. So, and my father was very supportive of my veganhood. I mean, he also said, why don't you eat fish? But he wasn't like, you need to eat some meat. And so he was, very supportive of that.
That's
And
cool. That's cool.
my mother, she's dead now, but
Oh,
my
I'm
mother
sorry.
made her rest. Yeah, she died of cancer, pancreatic.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why I became vegan later on. But my mom, she was when she was living, she was supportive, and my family was supportive and everything like that. But the the people I work with, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's cool. I want to hear about that because I think people can learn from your experience. How do you like you know the benefits of eating this way, and you've
definitely.
experienced it personally. So how do you deal with it when you go out? Maybe you're at work, you're in the office, you're eating your oranges or your bananas or huge salad, and everybody else is eating KFC and Big Mac, or they're bringing in wings and nuking them in the microwave and all that stuff. And uh, how do you deal with that? How do you talk to them? How do you without being? I mean, so you don't want to alienate people, but you
No.
also want to tell the truth and tell your story. So how do you do it?
Well, they come to me and ask me questions and stuff like about, why you eat mostly plant foods, and I tell them the truth, because I'm a vegan and everything, and veganism helps my body more than eating meat and
Yeah.
everything, and they wasn't being judgmental or nothing like that.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. All
Yeah,
right. And have you? It sounds like, let's see, that primarily. Well, yeah, you said tell us a little bit about more about why you became vegan. Was it related to your mom dying?
yeah.
Yeah.
My mom's death. That's why I became a vegan again. She died of pancreatic cancer December 14th of last year. And
Oh.
that's what drew me to being a vegan in February. Because, during her death, I was going through withdrawal because my mother was like my best friend. And I was going through a lot of withdrawal. I was binging a lot of unhealthy foods from December to February. I was eating very unhealthy and very poorly because, people grieve differently. I turned to food for comfort, and I was eating a lot of meat and dairy and processed foods to the point of constipation. I was constipated a lot, eating a lot of meat and dairy. And me being lactose intolerant, I went to the bathroom a lot because I'm eating a lot of dairy products.
I'm so glad you're saying this because I think this is a huge thing. A lot of us we get emotional support from eating comfort foods, sentimental foods, foods that are it's easy. You go buy it; it's already made. A lot high in fat. That's kind of thing. And I think that's so common and hard for a lot of people to break out of. But
Yeah,
that's a huge testimony. I mean, your mom and how it's so frustrating to see your mom die, and you know, and
yeah,
now what is so many people. There's I have relatives I see suffering, and they don't have to. It's frustrating.
yeah. It was very heartbreaking that my mom passed away because she was like my friend and everything, and I was very poorly eaten,
Yeah.
because when she was in the hospital from October to December, I was going through a lot. I was going through it. I mean, pancreatic cancer is one of the few cancers that is undetectable, and you do die real quickly, like Patrick Swayze and
Yeah.
all them.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's really It's
very deadly.
not many people survive it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On another topic, as you've been exploring this approach to health, have you at all gotten interested in the ethical aspects of it with
Oh
the animals?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to you about that. I mean, when I first became vegan for the first time last year, I didn't really care about ethical reasons. I just do it out of curiosity. But I think now my mother's death and me watching a lot of factory farm videos and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and
Yep.
how my ancestors was treated in America. That's what really drew me to be vegan, because when I think of animal slavery, I think of slavery, slave ships, stuff like that. I equate those two.
Wow.
And
That's intense.
yeah,
That's intense. Yeah.
and when I think of animal slavery, I think of, African slavery.
Human.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like how, animals were treated, especially when I was watching factory farms and stuff like that. The more I watch factory farm videos, the more I start having more compassion for animals.
Yeah.
Right now, I just started being vegan almost 3 months ago, so most of the leather I have is fake. I have fake leather and everything. So I'm not that close to. I only have two real leather coats, so I'm thinking about giving those away.
Well,
And the
I hear
old
you. I hear you.
donate.
I always try to look for shoes and belts that are fake, man-made material. Yeah, yeah. Um, all right, and then also I'd be interested to hear, have you at all gotten interested in the ecological benefit of eating this way, like the
Ecological.
benefits to the environment, you know, because of course the production of animal foods is really bad for the environment. So have you read anything on that, or does that
Oh,
influence?
oh no, not yet. I didn't go that deep yet. But as
Okay,
far as health and ethical, I'm very strongly those two. But
gotcha.
environmental, I'm not there yet.
That's cool. That's cool. All right.
Mm.
Um, and then one thing I'd like to hear you talk a little bit about. You said that you were getting close to like $100 a week when you were just doing raw food,
A week,
and
yeah.
actually I think some people would think that's cheap. Some people would think
Cheap.
that's cheap. But how much? Can you tell us how much you spend a week when you're using like a mixture of raw and cooked? Like how much you spend about a week?
Well, since I said that, you need more calories to be active and everything.
Yeah,
Since I'm not, I mean, I'm active, but I'm not freely enduring rather active.
yeah.
I will spend, like, it depends. I try to pick the fruits and vegetables that I like the most, and I buy those as my staples. So it'll be like between 30 to 50 a week.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really good.
Hmm.
And when you do eat grains, are you eating like a huge plate, like a pretty big bowl, or and do you put anything like I guess you do use like pasta sauce stuff like that? Like if you eat rice, how much do you say would you eat at a dinner?
Well, I would try to eat 3 cups so I could get my calories in.
Okay, okay. So and that's 3 cups cooked.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. All right, cool. What's your take on water? Do you think it's important to drink water, or?
Oh, it's very important to drink water. Ever since I
Okay.
became vegan, I don't drink a lot of juices unless I made them.
Okay, cool. And if you do drink water during the day, would you say how much water do you think you drink?
I need to drink more water. I don't drink more water that often, but I do drink water, but
Okay,
not 3 liters. But
okay,
I need to work on that.
all right. And when you do make juices, what kind of juices do you make?
Just orange juice. That's it. I love
Beautiful.
orange juice.
All right, yeah, it's good. It's good. I just saw a cool video by Andrew Perlot on the calcium content of oranges. It's huge, huge calcium in oranges. Um, all right. Another thing I'd like to hear your thoughts on are sleep. Like, do you think it's important to get a lot of sleep?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
like, how many hours do you average a night? You think?
6 to 8
All right. Beautiful. Yeah.
hours.
All right. Um, and then what else was I going to ask you? Well, yeah. I'm curious. Did you notice in any of these times that you did a healthier diet? How did it affect ovulation, that sort of thing? Did you have beneficial effects like some women have a lot of pain during their ovulation, and I'm
Mhm.
wondering if that got reduced when you were on a raw food diet or even a cooked vegan diet.
Well, I could just say my menstrual cycle changed, but I don't have no kids, so I'm not looking to have any children. Me
Okay.
being 37, I'm not looking to have any kids and everything. So I don't really care about the ovulation aspect because I don't want no children. But I noticed the menstrual cycle change because
And
it used to run 5 days to 5 days. Now it's like 2 days, 3 days, but
okay, so
still healthy.
it's a lot less. It's a lot less. So
Mhm.
it should be easy. It's easier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's cool. All right. Um, let's see. One thing that some people like to hear about is, you're vegan, and if you're out like dating, would you consider dating somebody who ate meat, or would you only want to date a vegan? And whichever way you decide on that, what would make you decide that way?
I would be honest with you. If I do decide to date again, he he has to be vegan because if I eat someone that's a meat eater, it's gonna. I mean, I'm strong-willed and everything, but
Yeah.
I still believe um, being equally yoked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's so true. It's hard when you get around other people doing stuff you don't want to do. It makes it harder for you to do. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. All right. So, okay, tell the audience, if you would, the full name of your YouTube channel.
Okay, if you want to check my YouTube channel, it's RawTil4 for the Soul. You can subscribe. You can email me or comment in one of my videos. I got 4 videos. If you want to check my new video out, my new YouTube channel.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I love that the title of your channel. And that it does have kind of a spiritual implication. Can you tell us why you picked that raw till for the soul? What does that mean for you?
I think, if you eat plant foods, period, if it's raw or cooked, it do something with your soul and spirit, not just your health, but in your spirit and your soul.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that. I agree with that. Yeah.
It changes you emotionally. That's why I say raw to for the soul, because I look at the emotional aspect of what you eat. Because I noticed that if you eat healthy, you feel more emotionally, you feel more happier, in my opinion, if you eat very fresh fruits and vegetables and grains, plant foods, whole foods, not processed foods and everything. Because I know, like when I went through my mother's death, I turned to food for comfort, wrong foods for comfort. I was emotional eating. So when I became vegan again, um, I'm much more happier. That's why I say raw tofu for the soul.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I think that's true, and I've heard a lot of people say many kind of emotional and psychological benefits come
Yeah,
from it. Yeah,
I'm a witness to that.
yeah. I think too, like you were saying earlier about the animals, it's like when you're not killing animals, you feel better. you know, I think
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I, but anyway,
Some countries, some countries they eat dolphins. They eat
yeah,
dolphins in some countries, and I love dolphins. They like the human, they like the human in water. That's what I call them
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
they have the same brain functions as humans and other mammals do. So
yeah,
when I hear people eating dolphin, I was very hurt about that because I love dolphins
yeah. They're beautiful animals. It's true. It's hard
and
to
cats
see.
and dogs. They eat them too.
I know, it's crazy. I know, but it's funny. They people in the United States will say they think that's crazy, but then here they don't mind eating cows and pigs. But how is it different?
Yeah, drinking pus.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything you'd like to share specifically with the audience about maybe challenges you encountered, or maybe tips you can give people who are considering maybe living this way? Any special things you'd like to say for folks?
Oh yeah. I just want to say one thing. If you want to go vegan for the first time, take your time. Do it slowly. Don't do it cold turkey.
Okay.
Because if you do cold turkey, then it's going to be boring. You want to go right back to eating flesh and pus. So the best way to ease onto the vegan lifestyle is to be a vegetarian first, and then work your way to being a vegan. And if you want to go raw, I'm not going to go 100% raw, but For some people that want to go 100% raw vegan, ease your way to add more and more raw fruits and vegetables. Start with RawTil4 until you become raw to 100% raw. That's all I can give them.
I love that. I love what you're saying. And I'll just say real quick for the audience that don't know, RawTil4 just basically means, you're having fruits or vegetables that have not been cooked for breakfast and lunch and maybe any snacks before 4 o'clock. And then after 4 o'clock, you're generally having a meal with a lot of cooked carbohydrate, probably starch or a potato, a grain, which might also have some raw vegetables and fruits, though. You could in that, it doesn't mean you can't have raw food in the evening. It just means that you can have cooked food if you want, right?
Yeah, I mean, whatever suits you. Sometimes I eat raw for dinner, and sometimes I eat cooked for dinner. It depends on how I feel.
I got you. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, boy, we've covered a lot really fast.
Hmm.
Let's see. I think that's about it. Now, maybe if you're up for it, maybe about 6 months down the line, we could do a follow-up and just see how things are going.
Hopefully, I'll stick to it this time.
All right, all right. And I guess one last thing, if you can think of any other health benefits you notice, like any effects that have happened, like you've lost weight, you've got increased energy. Have you
That
noticed
was
any?
last year. That was last year. This year, I'm slowly but surely losing weight because, like I said in my other video, if you keep yo-yo dieting, if you keep going back and forth, your metabolism will be damaged. So it's going to take a lot of time to heal itself, so
Yep,
you can lose weight again.
yep, that's right.
So I'm still losing, but it's at a slower pace than I did last year.
I think that's wonderful. That I think slow and steady is the key. Yeah, that's beautiful, beautiful. Well, I think you got a lot of wisdom, and I appreciate you sharing it with us.
Yeah, thanks.
So thanks for taking the time, and I'll look forward to seeing more of your videos.
Okay, thanks.
All right. So RawTil4 for the soul. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'm glad
Take,
talking to you.
all right. Take care, darling.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.